Hello, everybody, and welcome again to the Press Box, a presentation of the Dispatch and the Rock Island Argus. I'm Steve Tappa, and this is my fellow sports staffer, Daniel Makarewicz, and we're here to talk about Week 2 of the Western Big Six boys basketball season. Last week kind of went as expected, and that sets up this week where Galesburg-Moline, probably the most attractive matchup on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, Galesburg, Moline, obviously, you would think that right now, the way that they're playing, I mean, it's just almost a separation Friday. I mean, it's week 2 in the Big Six, but if you're Moline and you can go 2-0 with your first 2 games on the road, that's a huge step in contention and for that conference. And Galesburg, 2-0, you want to stay in the race with Rock Island because you figure Rock Island would be able to win against Alleman. So you hate to say the second week of the Big Six is a must-win situation. For Moline, I think that it's not particularly a must-win, but for Galesburg, with the fact that you need to defend your home court, you want to stay in that conference race. So, I mean, it's important right now, you would think, for Galesburg to be able to defend its home court.
Tough matchup for Moline. Of course, last year, Grant Gibson torched him. I think he's still scoring from that game.
38 points against him at Wharton Fieldhouse.
I saw that game, and, oh, man, he just was unstoppable that night. So, I imagine what's Moline's defense going to be geared toward?
Well, if I'm Moline, I'm not really more so focused on stopping Grant Gibson. I'm more focused on it's not even that. I'm more focused on, can we score the basketball? They didn't do a very good job of scoring. Now, granted, Tyler Biscatine said, we wanted to slow it down. We wanted to do our thing. Moline, if you want to do that, you have to be able to get stops, and you have to be able to consistently score on offense. And to me, the key for them would be, you have a height advantage. Moline's got 2 guys that are 6'5", 6'6", and Galesburg doesn't have a guy that's, as Coach Reynolds said, taller than 6'2". So you would think that Moline's going to try to emphasize getting the ball into the interior. I do an inside-outside combination, try to, set up your outside game with your inside game. That's what you really need to try and do. So Moline has an advantage, you would think, on the interior. It's just a matter of, can they hit shots and can they get stops on defense?
Now, of course, 4-time champ Rock Island taking on intra-city rival Alleman. That's also on the schedule this week. Rock Island, of course, got a victory last week against Quincy, and so they're well on their way to a title defense, I would think.
And Keenan Shorter's expected to return. He's been out with a foot injury. I mean, that's a guy that kind of changes how the Rocks approach their lineup and their rotation, because you will put him in the starting lineup and take Daquan Jones, who had great minutes against Springfield Southeast, possibly put him in a reserve role, and it makes their bench that much deeper with the fact that Keenan Shorter's back. His presence and his ability to create off the dribble, to create in the low post, that's a good combination to have. And I know the Rocks have missed him thus far, and with him coming back week 2 of the Big Six, that should only help the Rocks.
Another Big Six game on tap. UT, of course, has to travel down to Quincy. UT got a win the other night, so things are heading in the right direction, hopefully, for the Panthers.
It's a much easier trip to Quincy coming off a win as opposed to coming off of 6 consecutive losses. And the fact that they played well against Davenport West on Tuesday night, got a win, that just gets a little bit more energy, a little bit more confidence, because you go down there with a 0 for wins. It makes that the winner's wonderland they call Blue Devil Gym. It makes it that much more difficult when you don't have any wins and are lacking momentum. But to get a win on Tuesday night and go in there with some momentum, that really changes up the perspective of how the Panthers approach this game at Quincy.
Of course, a bunch of other big games on tap this weekend. Geneseo takes on Ottawa. Of course, our area game of the week, Rockridge, Sherrard. Which one do you like out of those?
Probably, I just want to see if Ethan Happ can score 30 points again. I mean, he's been averaging 32 points. That's, to me, is
they've been unstoppable.
Yeah, is he going to put up 32 points again? Yeah. That to me is, I mean, that's a guy that you if you have an opportunity to see him, go out and watch him right now.
Yeah, he's worth the price of admission right now. So definitely get to a ball game. Hopefully we see you at a ball game. If we don't see you there, we'll see you back here next week on the Press Box.